I'm 6'7", so I'm a bigger man. I was always taught how to not be threatening or intimidate people when I go into different interviews or different scenarios. And so we're literally taught how to condition ourselves, condition our speech, everything in order to go and beg these people for a job, because we know when we walk in the door, I have to tear down 10 stereotypes before I get past hello. So we need to eliminate that, you know, and we need...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
This unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move, don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, let's sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough, show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me, oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark, show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me. We do whatever you like. It's all for me, oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. You and me alone to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got the lay bringing up the car.
Are we on? Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Nate. Yeah, this teaching thing is for the birds. And I feel bad because my boss watches my show, and I don't really think she gonna mind. She gonna like me saying that to her. So yeah, it's for the birds. Teaching has become a struggle, and not just because it's hard work, because I can do the work, because I actually get to teach what I love. But students are difficult, parents are difficult, administrators are difficult, principals are difficult, other teachers are difficult. The system in which I get paid from is difficult. And then I just got to show up every day with the same amount of energy. And I don't have no vices. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I'm trying not to eat cheeseburgers, sugar, sweets, all that. And it's getting hard.
Trying not to eat cheeseburgers?
Yeah, that's...
I would never try not to eat cheeseburgers.
I'm saying, but
man got to have something.
I know, but I'm getting older, and I'm starting to feel like my knees and all that, and I don't want that. I'm trying to be a better individual.
How about you take the cheese off, you know, and
it's not a,
keep the burger.
Who does that?
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy. That's a little retarded. But joining me today, I got Mr. Shadow. He's a barber. I've been trying to let him keep me shaped up, but so that's a hike. We're gonna have to get you a mobile location, a van where you just travel around the world and
well, I mean, you know,
give shape ups.
Actually, now that you say that, I do have a few clients, right, that I go to them because they can't get to me.
Okay.
You know, I don't feel like anybody.
That's not an everyday thing, though.
Every day that somebody needs.
Okay.
You know,
okay. So we're going to have to give you like one of them little mini houses, one of them little mini buses, and you just come and just bam, 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 bam.
I thought about that.
Hook it up and just
I thought about that.
You could be anywhere.
I just pack a bag.
Yeah.
Put the.
You could be down on the block
in the
with
ways.
With your thing giving shape ups. I didn't say that, Shayna. It was just a joke. Ha 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 ha. But so Shadow, he's a barber. I actually met him. He was doing voiceover work. He wrote a book. He's in the process of rewriting that book and turning it into a different platform. So he's a writer. He's a good guy. He looks like a bear, but I ain't gonna say he got a lot of cotton inside of him, but I'm just saying. The one you need to watch out is the little light-skinned one that stands beside him. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one that's gonna run you over.
Yeah, I'm easy. I'm Sunday morning. Yeah.
He'll snap your neck, but it'll be such a gentle snap.
A gentle snap.
A gentle snap. So tell us a little bit about yourself, sir. I tried to give you the best intro in the world, but it was only nice. You know the best.
All right, so I'm a pretty regular guy. I do have a salon. I'm a barber. Been cutting hair for a long time. Professionally though, like in the shop, I've been cutting since 02. You know, because there's a difference between knowing how to cut and being a barber.
Yeah, I've learned that over the years.
Yeah, a lot of people say, I can cut hair, but that's not barber. Yeah,
they can fade you.
Right. Somebody leave a salon, they want to be ready for a photo shoot, even if they ain't going nowhere but to the mall.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, it takes a certain set of patience and eye for detail when you're dealing with stuff like that. Like one time I had a guy who stood in the mirror trying to find something wrong with his cut. The whole time I had somebody else in the chair. Because
guys, like I'm that person.
Right.
But I've learned not to be that person. Just keep it moving. Cut your loss, keep it moving, just don't ever come back.
But the thing is, the thing about this profession in general, well, not in general specifically, this profession, the cut is supposed to be able to stand up to scrutiny.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, like, I like it because he's standing in the mirror, I'm cutting somebody else hair, I'm just looking at him, peeking at him, and he didn't find anything wrong.
But see, and Brother Mike, who just left Black by Demand radio show, if you missed it, definitely check it out on BigExposedRadio.com. But I've said it to him, I am a serial barber hopper. And one, because I grew up with women cutting my hair. And it's not a lot of women left in the barbershop field. And if they are, they've either retired out or they've started families and so on and so forth. So it's not really many women that cut hair anymore. And a woman, if you got an ingrown hair, she gonna make sure she get that out. She gonna spend that extra half an hour on you. She gonna make sure her, you know, I just got accustomed to how women do things because they are used to doing other women's hair. So for them to be doing men's hair, they really like pinpointing, you know, every little hair. And that's what I got used to. And when I tell you the greater majority of barbers out there, first of all, they don't take credit cards. I live in Baltimore City. I'm not traveling around the city with cash. And then I gotta go to an ATM, and then you mad because I take that $3 out of your tip, and now you mad. But I've found a lot of men barbers are not up to par. They're not learning, so they're not continuing their learning. So all the things that I used to like the edge ups, the little designs, I had to go find me a woman barber to be able to do those things. And most of the women barbers now are young, and so they got that. And I'm not with that. Let your friend get in before me, and I gotta sit and wait. And you don't take walk-ins because my schedule is it's open. So I came to your barbershop at like 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. But it's all, you know, I don't do Mondays, I'm tired. Sundays, I don't do Sundays. Like, that's where I'm at with it.
Well, I try to be, my whole thing is, I'm from 9 to 9, 7 days a week. So, again, there is no reason. Ooh,
you got real African in your blood.
You know, and you know, now as you was talking about the ingrown hair thing, that's one of my other things. Because I know for a fact, if you out and you got a bump or anything on your face is wrong, they blame me. They don't say that you not taking care of your face. They blame me. So I am the person who will always take care of your entire face. I am a hair and skin care specialist. You know, so barber is okay, but no, I'm a hair and skin care specialist.
And I've been going starting in maybe like the 3rd grade. I was the person who hair grew back like that, so I was in the barbershop every week. I started shaving when I was going to the 4th grade. So it's been, so I'm a real good shower of a good barber, and if I can tell by how you greet me, this ain't gonna be a good experience. And if I need it, I'm gonna sit down. If I get halfway through the cut and I feel like you rushing me and you giving me a quick job, like I just went to the barber shop a couple days ago, so I shouldn't be growing back the way I'm growing back. It's gonna grow back, but I see things where you were rushing. And I don't like that because my schedule doesn't permit me to go, so then I gotta do it myself, and then that's me taking extra time because then I feel like I'm gonna mess myself up. But I'm not bad, I'm not hard on barbers no more, but like I say now, I cut my losses, I keep it moving, and then when you see me out in the public, hey, what's going on? And I keep it moving. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna cuss you out like I used to. I ain't gonna get my mother like I used to, so she can cuss you out. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm just gonna keep it moving, cut my losses, because I don't want to put nobody business out there. This is a world where, you know, one bad thing happened and it's on social media, and you talking. That used to be me. I used to do that. I used to be the little secret shopper. They used to go around and do that, but I don't feel like doing that no more. I just give you your tip. Let me keep it moving.
Again, I am available to be mobile.
Okay.
You know, I will come to you, but the shop is a private spot. I have a spot. Like I said, I'm open until 9 o'clock at night.
Real
so
low key.
I'm the place where you come where you don't want nobody to know where you at.
Okay.
I'm the place you come. It's a good.
Well, that's what the barbershop's supposed to be.
Yeah, but you know, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's no telling what may go on in the barbershop. So that's why I have a salon. I have a place where you come, you let your hair down. You know, we got nice music playing. You can throw a movie on, and you can just do what you're doing and not worry about somebody heard what you said and you're gonna hear it again in the street because it's just us in there. You know, and everybody that you see in there are the only people that you'll see in there.
Right.
You know, I'd rather have.
It's more of a boutique style.
Right. I'd rather have 50 dudes or women or people, customers that are solid than 1,000 where I don't know what may happen from moment to moment. So.
And see, I grew up with barbers similar to that who had that same mindset, but then something happened where going to the barbershop became a different type of thing. It wasn't like a Saturday morning routine that guys had. It became, I gotta get there as much as I can. I gotta stay fresh. And then barbers started creeping up with the prices, and I'm all for inflation, but it looked like the customer service went away as the prices began to rise. And I'm a stickler, especially when you mess with my hair, because I gotta walk around like this for at least a week, 2 weeks. So I'm a stickler for it, and I know like my facial hair is a little bit thicker, so you gotta like, you know, treat me good.
Yeah, I remember.
So I got, you know,
take a little more care.
A little bit more care, finesse. But other than that, you know, tell us about your entrepreneurship. Like, what do you do? How did you get into business?
Well, I actually got into business because I got tired of working for other people and not getting the money that I felt like I was worth. You know, because my work ethic, like I said, I work from 9 to 9. So I enjoy going to work because I like to do stuff and I like to buy stuff.
But you got tired of Susie, you know, being able to be a stay-at-home wife off of your back.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't want to be the guy where I'm looked over for a raise because his nephew was working there. He gets the position I was supposed to get when I'm the one that's working. So I figured.
Been there before.
Yeah, I figured, I mean, I enjoy it. It's something I could do all day, all night. You know, you can wake me up first thing in the morning. I need a cut. I'll wait, just let me brush my teeth while I got you. That's something I can do with one eye open, you know, and I enjoy it. So that's why I went into business for myself. Now, like on Tuesdays, I volunteer at New Life Assisted Living Clinic.
Okay.
And I cut the guys.
That's on Park Heights Avenue too,
No,
right?
that's actually on Windsor Mill Road.
Okay.
And I cut them for free.
Okay.
You know, I do it every week. They look forward to it. I mean, they already going through something in their life. So the least I could do is come to you, make them feel better about, you know. And so I do that. That's you know, that's what I do in the cutting. And like you said, I'm a writer. I'm on my 4th book actually. I'm actually looking for a new publishing company right now. But this is what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. I'm a writer. Yeah, I write the books and I do the soundtracks to the books. We're about to shoot a new video from the song to the book. And yeah, that's really it. I'm just enjoying being in this free world.
So what do you get out of being an entrepreneur other than the freedom? But what do you like? What's your goal or your focus in being an entrepreneur?
I want to have something to leave to my son. That's what it's really about. Like, of course, I enjoy what I'm doing. I have my freedom. I make the money I want. I set my own hours. But at the end, I want to have something that I could put in front of my son and say, listen, this is what I built. What's mine is yours. And if you want it, you already have a business. You know, it's about legacy. I want to leave something behind.
So how did you stumble on being a barber though? Like, how did that fall into line? Well, was that something you always did and it just became your full time?
Well, you know, when I was younger, I had a problem in my hair. My hair fell out. Oh. You know, it was the stress spots from your head. I'm talking about it was gone. Like, it was as smooth as the table. And so I had to keep my hair cut. Okay. And so that's when I learned how to cut hair. Okay. And because I had to keep it cut and I wanted it the way I wanted it. So as I got better at cutting my own hair, I began to cut my cousin's hair, my family hair. But again, I was just working regular jobs. And like I said, I was at a job in Glen Burnie, AdsCom, and I kept getting looked over for positions. You know, and I was the first one there and the last one to leave. You know, they would always pat me on the, well, you're doing a great job. But when it was time for the raise, I could never get it. Or time for a better position, I could never get it. So one day I'm looking through the paper and I seen an apprenticeship open at Park Heights. And I was like, wow. So I went in, interviewed me. I took 2 hairs to cut. He said, man, you got potential. You know how to cut hair. Now I'm gonna teach you to be a barber. And that's what I did. I went in the shop, got my hours, and I got my license. And it was a good thing because the shop that I came up in, everybody used a razor. So I sat for 4 months without making any money with a balloon and some shaving cream, you dig, and had to shave that balloon over and over again. I will say one thing, I never busted. Okay, shaving cream wasn't everywhere. You know? So now my whole thing is, my motto for my shop is personal and sharp. Personal because, again, if you go on my page, you'll see a bunch of the same people. You'll think they're the same cuts, but they are every week cuts. They just look the same because that's how they're supposed to. But they are the same people over and over. Because it's a personal place. It's somewhere you come. It's like Cheers, everybody know your name. Right. You know, and it's sharp. My whole thing is, I don't care if your shape up tilted. I don't care if your hairline, you know, got an M in it. It's gonna be sharp. That's my only thing. The only way I'm gonna make it look a different way is if you say, man, listen, I want you to take that peak off. I want you to pull that, make that straight. I want it to look normal. Then I'll do it. Other than that, I'm not trying to fix your shape up. I'm only here to make you sharp. Right.
I think a lot of barbers have forgotten that because they get in so much into their skills and these new tools that's out, and they forget that at the end of the day, this is still my head, and I still want to look like me. And I've had barbers that wanted to do the whole spray hair thing, and that's just not me. Once I started like losing my hair, just cut it bald. Like, I'm not trying to save it. I don't want you to draw on no lines. I don't want no imaginary, you know, anything. I want to just be clean. And really just going bald for me was just, I got tired of spending all that time in a barber shop. Like those lineups and all that, that's like an hour.
Well, and I do 5 people in an hour.
Yeah, see, I ain't got time for all that waiting.
I do 5.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on Biggs. I didn't know what the hell that was.
That's my phone. I thought I put it on vibrate.
We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
First they love you, then desert you, leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste, I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me that let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, don't pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I beat the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save it, it'll be too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry favors, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you give me more paper, I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patience run thin, yeah, nigga OT, cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me, say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep the G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't used to sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm stacking green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king with chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them, trash them, then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, man, like if I got it, then you got it. Yeah, man, but if I don't got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know that I've been there from the beginning, but the more I see niggas side switching, make me wanna bring it closer to the end, and that's why I can't fuck around with these niggas. I'll fuck around with my hoes, cause niggas acting like bitches and hoes acting like bros. Man, I swear I really don't get it. How people switch up they roles. First it was nothing but love, but nowadays I don't know. It seems like anything goes. Where can I go? Cause lately fucking with you, I just kinda.
Hey, what's up, and welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, and don't forget, starting this Friday and every Friday for the next 6 weeks, we'll have our series for the spring with Miss C. Natasha Richburg. We're doing entrepreneurship. Is a conversation about artists, business, and just putting the two together and being the best professional artist that we can be, getting your business in line, getting your finances and your money and all those things in line. And that will be starting this Friday, 2 p.m. with C. Natasha Richburg as our guest co-host. And our first guest will actually be a music producer, and his name just jumped out my head. Let me see if I can like jump and get it. But he is a Mr. Rob Swartz, actually. He's a big producer here in the Baltimore area, and he has a magazine called Hip Hop Mag, and it's a really phenomenal magazine because it spotlights not just the local artists, but it really connects the industry with, say, a Baltimore city, so you don't feel like it's only for like the top stars and whatever. But I've met him. He's a really cool guy, and we'll be talking to him this Friday, so definitely tune in for that. But today I have Mr. What do you want me to call you? Shadow good?
Shadow was good. You know?
I didn't want to just be like putting aliases out there.
My name is Sharon.
Okay.
My friends call me Shadow. They've been calling me that since I was, too young to even know what it was. It was a joke at first. I was Shadow.
Black people are so disrespectful.
Like, every nickname, we earn our nicknames. Nobody just
I didn't do that. I was real tough with that.
Yeah,
Call me Nate or don't say nothing at all. I learned that. You the short guy, so I had to learn that dominance a long time ago. No nicknames. Thank you very much.
My family named me that. It was supposed to be funny. It's been my name ever since.
So tell me, what has been like the hardest part about being an entrepreneur?
Finding people who want to work. That's the hardest thing. Finding stuff like
I'm not even gonna speak my piece. I'm gonna let you.
Stylist has been the hardest thing. I've been through 3 stylists in a month and a half.
So you mean in terms of filling the extra seats in your salon?
Yeah, nobody wants to. And then when they come, they want to work and keep the money. They don't feel like they have to pay. Because this is your business. Yeah, this is my business.
This your business. Right. I ain't got to support your business. Right. But I want this spot in your business.
Right. And all I'm saying is if we agree.
Everybody want to eat, but don't nobody want to feed nobody.
Yeah, exactly. And so, because I am a no-nonsense type of person, I politely tell you, this is not working. Please come get your stuff.
And then it's unfortunate because I see a lot of that. And I've experienced it, but I know for me, my work ethic, and it's very similar to yours, because I'll stay at the station or wherever I work. I have a couple different jobs. all day long, get in the house at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm back up at 5 a.m. doing the same thing all over again. That's my work ethic. I've learned not to put that on everybody else, but that doesn't mean you're void of any responsibility in this working for everybody. You know, I've seen people come through this station that love being on the station, love the fact that we could do certain things for them, but nobody wanted to. You're not even supporting it. You're not even telling anybody about it. I'm getting you clients. We're doing this for you. And that's a difficult thing. And I can't talk about any other race because I ain't never been no other race. All I could talk about is my own culture. And we are horrible at this. I want you to feed me. And I want you to keep feeding me. And the moment you can't feed me no more, have a nice day, I'm going to go over here. So in dealing with that with people, how have you, or are you learning? Because that sounds like a current situation.
It's definitely a current situation. You know, the hardest part about that.
But that's a barbershop in general though, right? Keeping, you know, the retention rate.
It's hard to keep people because, again, nobody has the same work ethic. And I'm like you. I don't push mine off on you, but at the same time,
I had to learn how to do that. That's current for me now.
I'm just saying, if I'm a stickler for what we agree on.
Yeah. No, what you said you gonna do.
Right. And if you're not gonna do, just don't say that you will. I learned that young. I had an older guy that I used to hang with when I was a kid, and he told me, they said, Shadow, listen, the only thing that's expected of you as a man is to do what you say you're going to do.
Keep your word.
And if you're not going to do it, just don't say that you will.
Yeah.
You know, so I've adopted that. Right now, my first response to everything is nah. Even if I can do it, I'd rather say no at first and then think about it. I don't want to have my impulse response be, oh yeah, sure. And then I can't do it. So I'm a no person. I can say no in like 90 languages. You know, no. Boo.
Nai.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be able to do it. Nine, nix, nada.
Fuck no.
Hell no. Shit. Fuck out of here.
But that messes you up because the things that you are able to do, you're hoarding them things now. Because you don't feel, well, for me, I didn't feel like everybody was deserving of it.
Right.
And I found myself giving until my cup was bare, dry to the bone.
Yep.
And there was nothing coming in.
Yep.
And you know, I have a couple really good friends that have really been supportive, but then you don't want to milk that dry. So what do you do? How do you then negotiate being a business owner when everybody wants to eat off of you and feed off of you, but nobody wants to, you know, did you eat today? You good? Then you rarely hear that when you own your own.
I haven't heard it yet.
So what do you, how do you see yourself getting over that thing? Because that's sometimes, I know being in the barber industry, that's a big thing.
I pray. And I've learned how to listen to my instincts. And I've learned how to sit still and watch the storm from the other side of the window. Instead of going out in the storm, I've learned how to sit still and watch the storm from the other side of the window.
Now, how is that different from how you used to handle things?
I used to be the person who's going out in the storm. I used to be like, man, I can handle it. It ain't gonna hurt me. You know, I always felt like I was, impervious to pain. I have such a high threshold for everything. But now, I don't torture myself. I don't put myself through things that I don't have to. And
so in terms of looking for that person, for your space, what are you looking for?
I am simply looking for someone who wants to work and who enjoys what they do. And I want someone who wants to build something with me. Who want to build a place where they can get some money and know that whatever we agreed on, that's what it's going to be, nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going up on your booth rent because you're making more money. I'm not telling you can't work 7 days like I do because you're going to make too much money.
Right.
All I ask is don't break my stuff and treat my place like I treat my place.
That's hard for some people.
That's it. That's all I ask for. And don't make me ask for my money. You know the rent when the rent is due. Don't make me ask for it. If I got to ask for it, I'm very upset. I'm going to be rude how I ask for it. So, man, I don't see that that's a lot to ask for.
So on the other side of what you do in terms of being a writer and doing music, how does that fall into your entrepreneurial life?
Pretty easy actually, because I make my own schedule, and the whole thing with the writing, I really enjoy putting together a good story. You know, I'm the person, like, I had somebody read my book and ask me, was it a true story? And,
I mean, well, it feels a little like,
you know, and that
something current.
Yeah, and that made me like, now y'all made it all up.
You sure?
Now, of course, we sprinkle it with some truth. Okay.
Is it your truth? Or is it somebody's truth you've seen?
I would never tell anybody else's truth. You know, that is not nothing I'm going to do, because it ain't.
I was just being nosy for a second.
Nope, all my truth, but it's sprinkled, but a lot of it, I make it up because now
I gotta go read through again and be like, what is this? This live right here.
I made it all up, you know, but it's sprinkled with some truth, and this is what I really enjoy. Writing was the first thing I found out I could do before I even knew that I was doing it well.
And it's the only job that you can ever have where there's no boss.
Right.
Like, you control what you put out, you control what you say. And I mean, you work for a publishing company, you got deadlines and such, but you are still the product.
Right.
You're still in control of it.
And writing is really easy for me. Like, I can, as we talk, I can actually see our conversation in the written form. Like, I can see it. I see it. I see the punctuations. I see everything. I see the grammar. I can actually see it. So when I'm writing, it's like I'm watching a movie going on in my head that I'm writing.
And there's very few writers that can write from that perspective. They don't normally see anything. So that means you should be writing for a different platform. I mean, books are great. And if you have the ability to allow people, or you have the language and the vocabulary and the skill to get people to see what you're talking about, that's going to get a lot of people reading again.
Well,
you know, that's what the urban novels have gotten people to do. But playwriting, like if you are able to translate that into a structure that can then be put on stage for an hour and a half to 2 hours, like that's, you know, I love August Wilson for that reason.
That's the way I write anyway. Like, like for instance, I don't have when I write, I don't have what is it called? I write it in book form. I already write it in format, but I don't have it where I write my ideas down and then my characters. I freestyle the whole thing. I make it up, I make everything up as I go along. I'm talking about sentence to sentence, from chapter to chapter. I never know what the next chapter is going to be until I actually start it. I don't know what the next sentence is going to be until I actually start it.
That's a skill, because some people, they have to be that methodical about everything, and they stop themselves and the process become longer. But now you'll have time to then go back and edit and restructure it, or like create 3 different series out of that one sit down and write. Like, that's one of the skills that I wish I would have like worked on more in school, was writing, but I did everything but write. I can do anything else. I can write a sentence, a paper, but outside of that, I just wish I would have worked on that more, because I feel like artists who can write and really have that skill, you have so much freedom, and you can work in any other medium. Like, you can really put yourself in movies, films, TV, visual art. You still can incorporate yourself, and then in other different platforms.
I never actually thought about exploring that. I was just doing what I like. You know, the funny thing is, the first book was a song. I wrote a song. My homeboy, Clarence Meredith, my homeboy, he said, "Shadow, you know what you should do? You should turn that song into a book." I'm like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Man, you should turn a song into a book." I'm like, I don't see it. So he kept talking to me about it, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it. So I just took the song, you know, what the song was about actually, and turned it into a book. I added characters, and like my characters, I'll use people that I know in my story. Like, I don't use, only thing I use is your personality. Like, I will describe you, and I will put your personality in my story.
I may have my ghostwriter.
That's what I
do. Get some thoughts out of my head.
Yeah, all I do is I take your personality and what I know about you and put you in my storyline and make you react the way you would react.
Right.
In the situations that I put together.
That sounds dangerous.
You know, and I do it. I like it. In my books, I have like 15 main characters. You know how you got some most people got 2 main characters and then a bunch of other people that's just there.
See, that sounds like a series though, so you got to cut that up.
I mean, it is a series. It's called The Connect.
Okay.
I'm on part 3.
Okay.
You know, and then
because I see when I speak to writers, I'm thinking of directing something.
Okay.
So I know in taking something to another platform that has to be cut down some.
Right.
And just thinking about reading, if you give them everything at once to keep up with that, that's why a lot of urban novelists, you'll go to like a book fair with one of them and they got like 40 books on the table, and that sometimes is overwhelming, but you gotta, some of them be cranking books out every month, and that's not good. Like, give somebody some time to like
I may give
enjoy
you one every
it.
6 months.
Yeah.
You know, maybe because, and it's not that I can't crank them out. It's just that
you want quality over quantity.
I don't want to get burnt out, and I want it to be what is worth talking about.
Then you starting to water down some of the spiciness.
I want it to be what's worth talking about. Like my books are geared towards the woman's plight mostly. You know, it is about.
See, I haven't seen that a lot. I haven't seen that perspective. I see a lot of women writing men parts, and the men are these, you know, buff, 6'9", you know, gorgeous creatures, but I've never seen men write for women or in a woman's mind. I haven't seen that.
It's just that I grew up outside. I mean, really outside. Like, I didn't have a place to, you know, I ain't have home and all that, no refrigerator to go in and whatever. So I had a bunch of different mothers.
Okay.
You know, I really had a million mothers, and I grew up around strong women. And what they told me was.
And you're from Baltimore?
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
Okay.
What they told me, the first thing they told me was, Shadow, never live off a woman. So that's like one of my sticklers. Like, I don't, like, I get it from my wife all the time. She like, well, I could do that. Let me do that. I don't want you to do nothing but be my woman. Enjoy yourself. You know, help me if, only time I want some help is I'm in chains. As long as I'm not chained up, it is my job to do the work. You know, I've been called a male chauvinist. I don't believe so. I believe that I'm supposed to be the one to take out the trash. I will open your door for you. I will stand in front of you if something happened. If it happened to you, it happened to me 6 times. You know, and my writing, I like to reflect that in my writing because there's so many issues.
But how do you keep that mindset with the women in Baltimore today? Because I didn't grow up with a lot of, you know, stay-at-home women. And if they was a stay-at-home woman, they were still doing it for themselves. So how do you still write for characters that are independent of your thought process?
I know.
Baltimore women are hard. They are callous.
The ones that I know and the women that I surround myself with, I don't surround myself with women. Just
I don't want Mighty Mouse to be down here.
I don't surround myself with women, but the women that are
that you know of,
right? They are women who they are workers and they are providers and they enjoy a man who understands that.
Yeah.
So, and I like to let my writing reflect that. Like, I talk about what goes on in our community as far as women being disrespected and not taken seriously and things that's happening to them and not being addressed. You know, the whole it's so sad. That's the sexual abuse of women and things like that. And
so we're going to take a quick break because I want to get into that a little bit more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it, eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you?
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you
like,
let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on
unrealistic. I'm sorry,
it's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. With me, I have Mr. Shadow, Mr. Sharon, of the barber artist. He's a writer and does music, and maybe one day he might do radio. You just never know. You just never know. But at the last break, we were getting into a topic, and for me, so I've stayed clear of the R. Kelly stories and now Michael Jackson again, and the Bill Cosby's. I've stayed away from those issues because as a black man, I feel a little bit different than a lot of the women who I'm friends with and that are on my social media pages and watch my show. And I've tried not to have such a voice in it because I may sound a little controversial, but my point of view comes from seeing two uncles at two different times in their life be accused of rape. And nobody was there other than my mother to support them. And one went to trial, one was in school, and both times, both of the young ladies recanted their stories and almost laughed it off.
Right.
And neither of those young ladies were charged.
Right.
I watched my uncles in shackles be told he's free to go and still had to go back to the jail cell and go through the system of getting out while this lady walked right out the courtroom and nothing was done. So maybe my point of view is seeing those two uncles who normally, you know, did wrong things outside of that, but that thing right there that could have sent them to jail for decades, that thing right there is where I'm looking at a lot of these stories. I'm looking at people being tried on Facebook posts, not even in the court of law. None of this stuff has gone to court yet, or if it has, it was already in court, and we're still trying people, and people losing livelihoods. And if you did it, you go to jail, you do the time, you have to do the retribution for it. But just by saying somebody did this and now you lose everything, there's no trial, there's no jury, there's no judge, nothing. I have a problem with that. So part of me has stayed out of this because I have a lot of millennial women friends and a lot of feminist friends that are really strong in this Me Too movement. But I also know myself and I know what I've seen. And we've seen several cases where men have been in jail for 20, 30 years and they've been let out on a DNA technicality. And that's that man's life. You know, and I just watched the interview with R. Kelly, and a part of me says this is all bullshit. Now I know he has a problem, but this right here that we're talking about feels like bullshit to me. It feels like you're just doing things to, you know, like we've never heard of a parent pimping their child out. Like those things don't exist. But yeah, that may exist, but he's still guilty. Yeah, he's still guilty. He's guilty of bad judgment, in my opinion. He's guilty of being hot in his ass and not knowing where to put his dick. You know, but at the same time, a lot of this seems fabricated and fake to me. Do you get into the discussions? Do you entertain them? Do you have any feelings? Or
I definitely got feelings behind it, but what my feelings are similar to yours.
Mm-hmm.
My feelings are similar to yours because first and foremost, they always find the successful black man and figure out a way to take it away.
Right. That's, I feel like, so now, and I posted this once, so now the solution is don't be a rich black man, don't be successful.
Then you're a bum.
Then you're a bum.
You know, with us, it's only one of two extremes. You're either a bum or you're successful. You know, and as a black man, it's hard enough to stay in business or just stay feeding your family, or, and this is the hardest, to stay in a respectful light in front of your black woman. Because it is designed to put the woman in front and take the black man and put him behind her because of what could happen to him if he is out front.
Yeah. So we've always had to be a little bit more.
Yeah, it's classic Willie Lynch. This was by design. This is not something that just happened. It's classic Willie Lynch. You know, you take the black man and you put him in front of his family and his community, the strongest of us, and you break him. And you make the woman understand that she is alone and he can't protect her. That is the mindset that they have put in our women.
Now, growing up in a city like Baltimore, even being a young black boy, you become really critical of black men until you become one.
Until you become one. Then you understand the struggle.
As I'm right now, I teach in classrooms. I'm around a lot of women in a different work environments. Then I'm an artist, so that's another field that I'm in. And I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel, even around my friends, my women friends, I don't feel comfortable because if I slip and say female, see, I knew you was one of them. Well, I've been saying female my whole life.
You are a female.
But they classified that as a scientific term, and it's a misogynistic slur, and not that I've been saying this my whole life.
Making my ear itch.
Right.
How is female a misogynistic?
Because female refers to her scientific classification.
All right.
But a deer can be a female. You know, a plant can be a female. You know, a cord can be a female. Like, it really gets that deep. So I get uncomfortable in situations where I'm around women.
When they do that, you know what I tell them? If you don't like your job, quit.
No, don't quit.
If you don't like your job, quit. Give everything back that was given to you so that you could provide the earth and the world and populate everything. Give it back. You don't want to be a female.
Right.
Because that's what females do. They populate. You don't want to be a female. All right, give it back.
But a lot of it makes me uncomfortable because I'm in classroom with, and I've been a teacher that's been accused of being inappropriate because I had a young lady who simply did not like me. So in her family, that's what women do to each other. And when we sitting down in front of the principal and her family, her mother just out of the blue got real silent. And I noticed there was a lot of tension in the air. So I just got quiet and let the tension keep going. And then I noticed her mother got real quiet when it came to what her daughter actually said to the principal. And her mother had to admit, I'm sorry, my daughter's wrong. No. I need you to explain why she's wrong. Because you can't just take my reputation like that and let's just walk out this room. Because that means she's done this in front of somebody who may also try this. Who parent may be the other type of parent who not willing to admit that my child heard me say this to another man and accuse another man of this because I was mad at him. So it came out that that's her mother said that to her father when she was mad at him. And that made me mad because this makes me look like a certain thing who was never even thought about, who never been that person. Yeah.
You know, we was talking about, and I was talking about the writing, and that's exactly the type of things that I write about. I write about the plight of the woman, not just the black woman, the woman in general, and how the difference between a woman that's raised with a man around as opposed to a woman that's raised by a woman that was raised by a woman that was raised by a woman. It is they are two totally different creatures altogether.
Because you've been visible to her.
Yeah. So when a woman is raised without a man around, they grow up with that animosity towards the male.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna pay some bills. Don't forget our sponsor this month is the Grit Fund. Go to their website, thegritfund.org. Fill out the grant. It's a very easy, simple process, and you may get up to $7,000 to fund your creative storytelling, visual art, blah, 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 blah. Grit Fund, G-R-I-T, fund.org. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. I pray there's an end to this suicide demon. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding.
And that's how I see it now. And like I said, it was one point, and one of my friends, my friend Tracy Jiggets, she told me, she said, Nathan, you are really hard on men. Like, why are you so hard on men? And it was really my experience via the women in my life, because most of their men weren't in my life.
Right.
The men that were supposed to be in my life wasn't in my life. It was the reactions and the conversations that I had heard from the women that I surrounded myself with. I had one male teacher my whole school life until I got to high school, and they were all like friars in robes. And you know, that seems disconnected from you, but out of my whole educational career up into high school, it was all black or white women, mainly black women, but more so women in general. And then even when I got to college, it was mainly black women at Coppin. You know, we had some black men, but they were a little suspect, a little crazy in the head. But I said this before we went to the break. I think a lot of the men who are dressing up and portraying these type of stereotypes that we think are stereotypes, a lot of us grew up with that type of woman.
It's not a stereotype at all. It's real.
To this day, any relationship, whether it be a friendship, platonic, or romantic, once I see you screaming, I'm out of there. We're not finishing this conversation. There's no karma. Put a period on it. I'm done.
I am that person. I can't think. Pat,
I feel like I got PTSD.
Yeah, once I hear that screaming, and my whole, I shut down. Like I can't think anymore.
Yep.
And now, like I told my wife, I said, listen, please, the aggression has to stop, because I promise you, you could never be as angry as I could be. Right. So let's not do that.
Because that anger may have lingered over relationships, but this has been in me since like day one.
Easy and discuss things like we're friends, because we are.
But as people, we don't know. I ain't never been no other race. So as black people, we know how to go for the jugular. Because I'm hurt, and we're yelling at each other because I don't feel heard. So I got to get higher than you, and I got to be bigger and broader than you, because I don't feel like I'm being heard right now. And I'm really saying I was not heard then, and I'm going to put that in this right now.
That's the nail on the head right there.
I'm just saying.
And again, like I was saying, I like to talk about the fact that our women specifically have been damaged and scarred, and they need us. They need us to understand and walk them out the dark. Now,
but you've been damaged and scarred, and they don't want to acknowledge that.
They never do.
Because you got to come packaged as is. No assembly required, no tools, no batteries. Everything is already there. All I got to do is say yes. And you unfold the rest of my life in this pretty blue Tiffany box, and then my life is set. I'm just sorry, but this is how I feel right now.
But you know, my person, I feel that it is my responsibility to help. I just want to help. If I could help reveal or help shed some light on something, you know, to actually change a mindset, or just help a person give it some thought. That's all I want to do.
But how can you do that if you are in need of that same thing?
First off, I'm a Jew. Right. So what I need, I like to actually put it in the passenger seat to my woman.
Okay.
Or to my black woman. What I went through in my life, I can handle it. I'm cool. You know, I'm cool. You know, I deal with myself when I'm by myself.
Right.
You know, but right now, until we have better understanding of what we need in our community as far as our women, we will never get right. We won't ever get right, because I mean, no matter what anybody say, women are the backbone of the universe. There can be nothing without a female. There can be nothing. Like, now, if your woman don't know her job, How can I do my job if she don't do her job?
But see, and that's what that's part of what that's what I stay quiet about. Because then you start saying, well, this is your job. And like, well, that ain't my damn job. It ain't my job to just be cooking and doing. But you just told me what my job was. So in me doing my job, I still have to do those things that were designated for you to do. And I'm not, that ain't the relationship I have, so I don't really care.
Right.
But I'm just saying, for me, I just see a lot of broken people not wanting to realize.
Wants to do their job.
Because I can't admit that I'm broken. And that I'm in pieces right now and I need help because you're telling me that that's not acceptable.
Right.
So get it together.
Right.
Man up. Get your shit together. I don't know how. Well, fuck you. Let me move on to the next person that appears to have it together because they got a little bit of money to pay somebody to get these pieces looking good. They pay somebody to start putting the pieces together for them. But again, I'ma still crack, and that be the person that's liable to slap the shit out you. And I know this is crazy how we get from R. Kelly to this, but there's a lot of like brokenness that will build. I've watched this man do interviews over the years, and I've watched people whisper in his ear and slip him things, and everybody is worried about what this man can do for their life. But nobody has ever said,
trying to help.
Right. I'm sitting here and I'm watching all these different documentaries on Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson. And out of all these people with something to say now that these people are cold and with no skin on their bones in the grave now, all these people with opinions and perspectives, and ain't nobody say nothing. Like that's where I be in my mind. That's why I really don't speak on too much of this, because I feel like people are into the likes and clicks right now. So that's what they really having conversations about. I want to have some likes because I said something really profound, but nobody's really helping anybody. Like, who is whole based on all these likes and shares and conversations over Facebook? I be looking through them on my way here, and it's just like talking heads.
That's exactly why I deleted my Facebook page.
Yeah.
You talking about? I'm tired. I haven't. I used to go through my Facebook page and I haven't seen anything that inspired me. And I'm like, not on my phone. Like my bill is hella high. Yeah. And if it's not going to be something on there that because my phone is for my convenience.
Right.
If it can't help me, it gotta go.
Right.
That's just my motto. Anyway. Us being around each other, my job is to give you something that can help you. And in return, you give me something that helps me. It's an equal exchange.
So how do you think we can go? Because we have a whole generation, 2 generations actually, that don't know life without Facebook or smartphones or just technology at all. Because I remember still that big
you remember when
wooden floor model color. Right.
You missed your phone call because you was outside.
Right. Or even with a pager where you still had to get to a phone to call somebody.
Right. And you didn't even know what they was talking about until you got there.
Right. And everything was the 911 call at that moment.
Right.
But how do we then change or we can't go back.
There's no going back.
I wouldn't even want to go back, but how do we people are doing these things where they're like dropping their social medias for a couple months or getting rid of their phones after a certain hour, but that's still because you still pick it back up at some point.
Right.
Like, how do you get people? How do you suggest that we get out of this mindset of just technology and the fact that I could say Shadow did something to me, and if I have enough people who like me, they gonna believe me, and now you in trouble.
I don't suggest letting it go. I suggest that we teach how to use it. That's what I suggest. I suggest when you give your kid a phone, their first phone, you sit them down and give them the do's and don'ts. This does this does that, and if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. And if I find out you doing it, everything gonna happen.
But see, I can honestly say, I think because I was a naturally good kid, my mother didn't feel the need to say that to me. And technology got me into stuff that I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
At like a teenage age.
Right.
And I can see that now. So when I'm around children, I can already see what's going on. I can already see what's going on. I can already see what's happening. And they're not even talking about anything. But I could just see it. But I just know it. But I don't remember, like this was not this when I was in high school.
Right.
Maybe like towards the end of college, but high school, like, I don't remember having things like this. Like my life, I could sit right here and run my life right here.
On your phone. Yep.
I can order something to eat and they bring it right to this chair. I can like pay all my bills. The doctors are even doing FaceTime now. So I don't even got to go into the doctor's office anymore.
I don't have to go see my doctor?
No, they'll do it. No, that's good insurance. But you got, it's on your FaceTime. Right. You.
Man, wait till I talk.
I'm just saying.
You got me coming all the way in there. You could have just hit me.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you got to have the right insurance. I'm just saying. Medicaid ain't going. No, they're not going to do it. Yeah, they're not going to do that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, sir. Maybe next year. We coming out. But that's, I feel conflicted because I do an online radio show, so my business is right here.
Right.
But at times I feel like I just got to take myself away from people. Now I've learned how to get people out of my space. Like there are people who I should talk to on a much more routine basis than I do right now, and I ain't seen them in almost a year, and I'm okay with that.
Man, can you teach me that? I would love to learn that.
Just swipe left when they call. Just keep going. But it's for you though. It was for my sanity. It had nothing to do with who they are. I mean, they had a part in it, but I had to start looking at those three fingers pointing back at me for everybody I had to blame, and I had to realize, how did I fuel their fire? How did I continue that toxic relationship? What were my parts in it? How did I make it okay for this person to treat me like this or to have that type of behavior around me? One of the things I did a couple years ago, maybe more than like almost 10 years ago now, I stopped drinking. And when I stopped drinking, I could see people differently. Like, you get on my nerves, get out my face. I don't even want to be around you.
That's exactly why I don't stop drinking. Because if I stop drinking, I'm gonna realize, right, that I was supposed to have been broke your job. Like,
but see,
I used to think it was funny. Like, I thought that was a joke. It wasn't a joke.
No, that's
you know what I'm saying?
But that shows you got to get that person out of your space. Like, it's no phone calls. Like, that's why. And see, he got mad because when he called a couple times, I didn't know what. I'll show you my phone, and you'll see in this phone how many people numbers are saved. And it's really crazy because I don't want to remember numbers. And that's what happens. We remember toxic numbers. We don't remember numbers that's good for you. Look at that, sir.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's.
I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Who's this?
For your number to be saved in my phone, you are a lifeline to me now.
Right.
You're somebody who, if I get into trouble, I need you to somebody to look in the phone and call that person.
Right.
Like, and I really am serious about that thing called friendship now, and I don't take that for granted anymore. Because I done went through a whole almost year and a half where my phone is dry. Like, the only people calling me is bill collectors.
Right.
That's it. And you have to start doing that to people and doing it for yourself. So now you're in a space where you're not taking in energy that's not yours anymore. Because this is a lot of other people crazy that becomes your crazy. This person get evicted every 3 months.
Right.
That becomes your stress.
Right.
This person getting slapped in her head and still going back to that same person. That becomes your stress. That dude got 5 and 6 different girlfriends that keep calling your phone looking for him. That then becomes your stress.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you avoiding him, you're trying to avoid them, and you're trying to keep some semblance of a relate. So now you bringing on that stress in your life. And how does that equate to R. Kelly? Like, get people from around you that's not good for you. I don't want nobody to tell me yes. I want somebody to tell me that my shit stinks. Like, I don't want nobody around me that's just, oh, that's That's Nate. He is so talented, and you stand around me for what I can do for you versus what we can do for each other. Like, that's who I want around me now. And I'm looking at all these, the R. Kellys, the Bill Cosbys, and all of them, and it's BS to me because of my experience. But I'm also seeing these young men on YouTube and Instagram dressing up like these women with these attitudes. And nobody is seeing that it's something behind that. You're seeing what your fear is or your insecurity is. It's easy to call somebody gay or somebody a pedophile, or because it's easy to just label it. That makes me understand who R. Kelly is. He's a pedophile. He needs to go to jail for life.
Yeah. Because I ain't never watched the joint. So you telling me that they said the bodyguards, they admitted that they went and got the little joint, the little girls, knowing they was little girls, and were like, yo, Kels, here you go.
They brought the young ladies in. They allowed them to come in. Before they even get to R. Kelly, they had to go through publicists and security officers and assistants.
So everybody knew that these girls was...
But they was afraid they was going to get fired.
Well,
Michael Jackson's old chef and housekeeper just said, I was afraid. I was afraid of Michael Jackson. Afraid of a dude who wear more makeup than anybody. Now, I'm not saying because you wear makeup you're not tough, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying it.
I'm just saying, Michael Jackson looked like one good jaw check, and he would have got his shit together. And nobody did that to him.
What I don't understand is how they prosecuting Kels. I don't even know what to say what they doing about Mike. But the people
they just trying to they going after his estate now.
But the people that orchestrated all of this is in the clear.
No, the people who's orchestrating all of it are the people who are doing the documentaries and filing the lawsuits now. Yeah,
they in the clear.
Because the checks that they were giving them to kind of like keep this stuff away from them, that's running out now. And now R. Kelly don't have the money that R. Kelly used to have. So you ain't got the money to keep me happy and keep me quiet no more.
Figure out another way to get some money.
So now I got to get a book deal. I got to get a documentary deal. I got to get a job title. I got to get on this reality show. I don't believe it. Right. Now his ex-wife, she got Stockholm Syndrome. That's when that's basically PS.
You fell in love with the cat.
Right.
I mean, I got Stockholm Syndrome.
But I'm just saying, like, you have it only because you chose to stay. You chose to stay.
That's what everybody's forgetting. They chose. They made their choice. Everything that has happened to this point was a choice. Yeah. Nobody was held against their will. Wasn't no blindfolds, wasn't no gags, none of that.
Well, in terms of R. Kelly, like a lot of the parents that are coming out saying, my child, like the two young ladies went on the news. They was on the same interview he did. And they was on there saying, no, this is not what it is. We chose to be in this relationship with him. Now, I think it's dumb. I don't think they're dumb. I think it's a dumb decision. Right. But I don't think they're dumb because they're 21 and 23. Now, at 16 and 17, I was making stupid decisions. But you knew what you were doing. So at 21 and 23, I know this nigga paying for me to go live around the world and take trips. And we get to go to the front of the line when we go to Disneyland. So I know what I'm doing. But at the same time, they're saying that their parents are pushing them to do these things and then telling him, well, if you don't give me X, Y, Z, I'm going to tell these people you raping my child. After you drop them off. The one young lady, her mother said she tried to kill herself, and the only thing that made her feel better is her telling her she's going to take her to an R. Kelly concert. You took your child to an R. Kelly concert. After all this shit been going on for years, you took your child to an R. Kelly concert to make him feel good. And she met him that night.
Listen, I tell my 15-year-old daughter, I better not even catch you listening to Kels. Much less tell me, oh, we going to an R. Kelly concert. Listen, no,
and not even, let's say he didn't do any of this stuff. But his music is talking about fucking.
That's all he talking about.
So why would you let your child?
No reason listening to that. At all. You better be 21, own job, own car, and you better be listening to on your iPad or something where I can't hear.
I can't imagine a world.
The thing is, again, they have to be held accountable for the role that they played in this.
But they not. They not. So that's why they doing these press conferences and doing these TV shows to vindicate themselves. Look what Bobby Brown did to his wife, with his ex-wife. Whitney gone. She can't do nothing else to you now. She can't do nothing else for you now. She can't overshadow your success. She dead in the grave, gone. You write a whole documentary saying it wasn't my fault, it was her fault.
What?
Like a whole documentary, write a whole book. Well, he had already written a book, but now you write a whole documentary on somebody who can't even defend themselves. Never, this what made me think she was a crackhead. She calls him the king of R&B. Like, she called you this her whole, basically, adult life. She put you on that pedestal, and then because your life is what it is because of all the things you did wrong, now you need some upcomings. You need something to boost you up and get some more money in your pocket. So now you need a platform to sell your barbecue sauces and shit.
He got barbecue sauce?
Yeah, he's a cook, he's a chef, he's a barbecuer extraordinaire. Yeah. So he need a platform to be able to sell this new American family that he has. With still all the old children, minus the one that was killed. Like, it's just certain things about this whole culture. I just need all of us to sit down, and I need a Yonla to just do like a whole world like show just for us.
No, her.
Yeah,
everybody be crying and shit.
Yeah, and they need to do that. They need to get it out. You can't keep that inside of you, Shadow. You gotta let it out.
I'm not letting nothing.
I'm about to put your name on it.
I'm not letting nothing out. She gonna be mad as shit.
She gonna get it out.
Your life. Yeah, I'm chilling.
She gonna have you curled up.
I'm laid back mostly. What's up?
She gonna have you curled up on the couch. I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
I'm telling you, she gonna get it out you.
Ask the wife. I'm uncrackable.
I'm telling you, I've seen her, and I didn't know the power of Iyanla until we started calling her like a bad person. Like she became a bad person because she was giving us the auntie truth.
Yeah, but I definitely don't want to hear that shit.
I'm telling you, go just do the show. You'll be a totally different man.
I like me.
You don't change who you are. You just get rid of the stuff.
The anger.
Yeah, the anger, the frustration.
Nope, love it.
You can't live like that. Because that anger needs to.
You sound like my wife. You're not sleeping.
Because that anger could be pure passion.
In your sleep. Oh my God, you beat the headboard up last night. Hey, I got some issues. All
that energy can then be used as passion versus frustration and anger.
Right work, try to.
Yeah, but imagine if all that energy that you give to anger could have been transferred to your creativity and your passion. Just imagine like what it would be on this side.
You know what?
You already know what it is over here.
I mean, I see your point.
I'm telling you, I've been watching a lot of Iyanla, and I got it inside of me, and I think I can.
She's not picking me. She's not doing it. No. In front of people?
I'm telling you.
Oh, hell. So now you want me to get picked on TV in front of like 80 billion people.
But it's you helping somebody else. Like that could possibly help somebody else. It's another young Shadow in Baltimore.
You ever seen me cry?
It's Chi-Town. I don't want to see you cry. I'd be scared of shit.
Horrible. I'm talking about horrible. You ever seen Spawn? I look like yo when I'm crying.
Man, that's all that life.
Be able to do it.
That's like the pus. So that's getting all the pus out. That's getting all the bacteria and all of the. Is you cleaning out the wound, and you won't allow yourself to do that.
I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I'm telling you, like and you speaking to somebody who I can count how many times in my life I've cried. And it was really like when Big Mama died and Grandma died and like these people. Like it took. Yeah, see that was a different type of tear for me. But I'm not a crier, so to make me mad, I'm gonna punch the fuck out you.
I mean, I did cry during Creed Part 2.
See, that's.
It was a tearjerker. I mean, what do you want? It was a tearjerker. I'm talking about that was sad. Yo just stopped fighting, got a wax because mother walked away. I was like,
that's mommy issues right there. See, you saw the mommy issue.
No, I seen he was winning.
No, you saw the mommy issue. You won't let yourself.
Yep. Not gonna do that.
See, you can't deal with it. See, that's a yawner right there.
Oh, see.
That's a yawner.
Yeah, see, she'll be mad at me because then I start like cigarettes, drinking bed. I don't want to talk.
Is she gonna talk you through it? She gonna sit you. Let's go outside. Let's go have a beer.
She'll go to the bar with me.
You ain't seen the yawner. She walked like she somebody flew-footed, bow-legged, knock-knee on. Like she don't let all that makeup fool you. Iyanla's from Brooklyn.
I don't want to talk to her.
You're not ready. I don't think you're ready.
I'm not going to ever.
You're not ready.
Maybe when I'm 70.
She might change your life. I'm ready. Like when I turned 30, I was in my mind, I was good and ready to just surrender and just get rid of all those things that were like trauma in my life and baggage, and just with this Baltimore air like breeze. I was ready to get rid of. I could not wait to wake up when I was 30. And now that I'm 35, about to be 36, I'm ready.
36.
I'll be 36 in a couple months.
I was 36. The box precedents was out. The legends just dropped. You know what I'm saying?
This man is not.
This was back when food stamps. Remember when the food? That's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry. You don't know about the food stamp with the cheese, the block cheese. That's what I was 36.
I was a shout the child.
Back when shit was good, man. They had the ice skate rink at the time.
So let people know where they can find you at.
Oh, 5320 Park Heights. Yeah, 5320 Park Heights. 9 to 9, 7 days a week. It was 7 days a week with my wife.
She put that
foot down and made me take Sundays off. But every once in a while, if you text me, you really need me.
We're working on getting them that mobile van where you can set up the shop. I'm telling you, you be unstoppable.
But yeah, 5320 Park Heights. Instagram, second Blue People.
There we go.
Holla at me personally and show.
So the show is a little bit abbreviated today, but we'll be back fresh on Friday with C. Natasha Richburg, and we'll have an awesome guest that we'll be talking to, entrepreneurship, talking about some basics of this business and getting it together. Miss Richburg, she's a manager, she's a CEO of a management company, she's an author as well, and it really does, my conversations with her has really given me some insight on the power that I have and just how great Nate is, and it's really helped me to know I'm on the right track. And sometimes you got to be confident in who you are and just stick to who you are and just get rid of people out of your life. So we're going to end the show now. Thank you, Mr. Shadow, for stopping by. I hope you can come by more often and just get some things out. You know, do some of Iyanla session in here. I'm telling you, I've been watching enough of Iyanla that I got it. I do. That's why most of my friends don't like talking to me, because I make them face themselves. I don't do tears. I don't do none of that shit. Get it together. Stop it.
You think you can help?
So I don't know. That you might be. I might have to call Iyanla. I might have to. I'm like the stepping stone to Iyanla. I mean, once you finish with me, maybe Iyanla's where you can go to when you're ready to release. I'm just saying. So this is the Artist Exchange Radio Show. You can find us every Monday and Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. here live on Be Exposed Radio. You can check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Artist Exchange. We have a number of events coming up this month, next month. Don't forget the 28th of this month, we'll be doing a Skillshare workshop that I'll be hosting on consent, kind of surrounding a lot of these issues with R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, creating safe spaces for individuals. And it's not just about rape culture, we'll touch on that, but just really giving people the tools to be able to go forth in whatever area they're coming from, whether it be your rehearsal spaces or your business or your home or just the open community, dealing with other people, knowing that you are broken and then being able to say who you are so people don't put Impact Hub, 10 East North Avenue. Come on out, 12 noon, bring your lunch. Come on, stop by, talk with me. It'll be Facebook Live, but I definitely want to see the bodies in the room. We already have a full roster of people. We have a couple slots left. And then this week, the 23rd of this month, we'll have a series at the Pill Center, right down at 225 Holiday Street with Mr. Cam Ron, with the Cam Sessions. He's a phenomenal jazz performer. So if you are a vendor and you're looking for a space to exhibit your work, to sell your work, hit me up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. Also, if you're looking for tickets, hit me up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. And I'll be posting a number of our events. Also, our sponsor for this month, thegritfund.org. Hit them up, The Grit, GRITFUND. It's a phenomenal, easy 1, 2, 3 ABC grant process that you can definitely get up to $7,000 to pursue any creative venture that you have. It specifically is not necessarily an independent artist, but it's a collaboration. So you have to collaborate with some other artists. There has to be some component of visual art inside of it. And do what you do. Just go to the website and just learn about it. Gritfund.org. It's on our Instagram page. It's on our Facebook page. We also have a group page on Facebook that is dedicated to artists that are looking to network with other people. I just started the Artist Exchange Entrepreneur page as well, and that's strictly for entrepreneurs of all kinds. I had the Artist Exchange group page that was strictly for artists, but I got tired of artists trying to get on the page and promote their stuff, and it had nothing to do with the arts. So we're starting actually an Artist Exchange page for entrepreneurs, and that's to be a space where you can promote all your business things, and then I'll be able to pull some of you all definitely up, become guests on the show. So that has been another installment of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Thank you, Mr. Shadow, again. He's definitely going to be back. So peace out. Gotta get to work. Job number 3.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, Super Producer. Hey, the HBCU shout out is sponsored by Metamucil, because I am a paid endorser for Metamucil, and so is James Brown.
That's right.
I forgot to say the word of the day was still sponsored by Hotter the Mofo Peanuts. James Brown's company, and that sponsors our word of the day. But Metamucil sponsors our HBCU shout out. The voting is over. The voting is over.
Okay.
So now we're just waiting for them to tabulate the votes, and we're checking with Metamucil to get an official date of when that announcement of the winner of $10,000 will be announced on the Steve Harvey Morning Show with myself and James Brown. So once we know, we will let you know. But then we have on tomorrow we will be announcing a new sponsor.
A new sponsor
for the HBCU shout out. Thank you, Kyle Irving.
Hey.
It's gonna be so cool. But right now, let's shout out some HBCUs, gang. Who we shouting out today?
I got American Baptist College, Cheryl, in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's what I'm talking about, Courtney Black. In Nashville, Tennessee. Matter of fact, I'll be at Zany's in Nashville. I'll be there in August. So we shouting out. All right, who else we shouting out?
Going to Duval.
All right now. All right
Edward
now.
Water College.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, who you shouting out, Jim Kelly?
Cheryl, Kentucky State University in Frankfort, Kentucky.
That's what I'm talking about. They're the thoroughbreds. Is them the thoroughbreds?
I don't know. Should be.
And then which star? I always ask this question.
It's always Atlantic or Midnight.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. From their musical department, a band was formed. That's why we got a music initiative under Pac Rat Foundation for Education. Courtney Black, thank you for raising money for Pac Rat.
Yeah,
that's right. We waiting for everybody else to get on board. All right, Big Frost, who you shouting out?
I want to shout out J.F. Drake State Technical College in Huntsville, Alabama.
That's what I'm talking about. I thought you was about to shout out J. Anthony.
I know, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought you was about to shout out. Let's see, who are we going in the right direction? Are we going in the right direction? Do we have everybody? Oh, well, let me shout out Philander Smith College
There you go.
in Little Rock, Arkansas. The Rock, baby.
The Rock.
All right, and if Harry Sutherland was here, I know he would want to shout out Mary Holmes College in West Point, Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
Also, in August, I'll be in Jackson, Mississippi. We're going to give you those names of those clubs. And also, to my Sorors of Zeta Phi Beta, I'll be fellowshipping with you on the Saturdays that I'm on the road. I'll be fellowshipping with my Sorors. So we're really glad to shout out American Baptist College, Edward Waters College, Kentucky State University, J.F. Drake State Technical College, Philander Smith College, and Mary Holmes College for our HBCU shout out. And remember that we support higher education here because we know it's the key to jobs and freedom. We thank Metamucil for supporting higher education, and we await the announcement of the winner of the $10,000 under the 2-week challenge. And you can still sign up for the 2-week challenge, but the voting for the HBCU is over. But we know why we support higher education, especially as African Americans, because black history is American history, but you don't have to be black to get a quality education at the HBCU. We'll be right back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio after this break.
We're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, we're in entertainment where Kyle and Courtney have put together a really good entertainment report. The phone lines are open to you, 1-855-Cheryl-1, and you could email us at SherylUnderwoodRadio.com. And we got the World According to Cheryl, the podcast of Cheryl Underwood Radio. And Harry Sutherland, a lot of people have been wondering, where's Harry? Where's Harry? He's at a county commissioner meeting.
Oh, yeah.